Hey everybody, welcome to another episode. As you might have noticed, I've got Cmilk on the channel
Hey,
again.
Lao winners. No, more like Lao whiners on your channel.
Yeah,
Bunch
right.
of plebs over there.
Well,
Sorry, guys. Sorry.
It's fine. The only reason you're on the channel is so I can maintain relevance and keep the views climbing, you know what I mean?
I'm glad you're using me as a ladder on the way up.
Our relationship is literally based on me using you for views.
Did
and
we
revenue.
literally, we met for dinner tonight. We have talked about nothing but YouTube. And silently, I'm actually like, how can I make his channel worse? So I'm going to try my best today.
Yes, it's not what I want. Today I wanted to talk to you guys about a topic that I feel like plagues a lot of foreigners, a lot of people that come here, and that's why do people tend to leave China after their first year, and sometimes even less?
Right. Well, I'm glad we chose this appropriate barbecue club. In the background.
I know,
as
I'm
we
a
talk
little bit
about
worried
this.
about the audio
It'll
on
be
this
fine.
one.
We got this nice Zoom H1, sponsored to Prozzie here.
I'm not getting any money from these
Can I have a
people.
drink, please?
Oh, I didn't realize you were trying.
Thanks. Yeah, so we're talking about why people leave China after about a year.
I feel like it all comes down to your expectations of what you think China's going to be like. You know what I mean? They see like The Last Samurai once, and they want that honor and that respect and that politeness. So they watch a documentary narrated by David Attenborough or whatever, and they think it's going to be like rice terraces and
There's actually a term for that. It's called Orientalism. And I'm going to be honest with you. Like, I definitely suffered from that before.
I
you
did
make
100%.
fun of me. You make fun of me all you want, but we both are guilty of this because
You and your
Orientalism.
vocabulary.
Sorry, I went to school.
I'm not known for knowing words.
I'm not known for knowing words. Prozzie t-shirt. Go check it out
2017.
on customtshirts.biz.
Slash probably.
It's a sponsor. Anyway, so I'm going to ruin your videos with sponsorships. Johnny Walker sponsors you now, bro.
It's not. Stop. Anyway.
Fantastic. Oh, Coke Zero. Fantastic. Anyway, long story short, what I'm trying to say is Orientalism fuels a lot of Westerners' values and like ideas of what Asia is going to be like. And this, like you said, I think this appeals to most people. It doesn't have anything to do with China. It has something to do with escaping from your country and coming to Asia, thinking you're going to be in this realm of differences. And let me tell you, it's absolutely true. Everything about this place is different.
I 100% agree with that. How it's different will shock a lot of people. I feel like they get really disappointed because what would you say that most, not all, but most Western people would assume Chinese people are like?
I feel like, unfortunately, I'm guilty of this when I was young, but I had this kind of interest in Japan. I used to go to the library and get books
me
about
too.
Japan. Yeah, the library.
I still am.
Right. And I thought China, no joke, before I moved here, thought it was going to be like this communist gulag version of Japan. So it had all the same values and all the crazy like Japanese stuff, like the Asianness, but also be like Soviet Union Russia before it collapsed because it's still communist. So for me, that was the perfect blend because I was super interested in the Soviet Union, communism, and all that kind of stuff. Like, how could people live under that system? Mixed with Japan, it was like a fantasy land for me, right? And that fantasy is different for every person.
I can't generalize. So most Chinese people, especially men, are very extroverted.
Absolutely.
They're extremely
It is the
friendly and
polar
they're-
opposite of
Oh
Japan.
my god. They'll like when you're over at their house, they'll like offer you food and drinks, and after enough of that, they end up hugging you and your brothers all of a sudden, and then blood brothers when it gets weird. And
Just today, I was in a restaurant with Vivi's dad at lunch, right? And his students, from when he taught Chinese, like Mao era Chinese, which I thought was fascinating, all decided to come from all their hometowns where they like came from originally to come meet their original teacher that inspired them. And I was really like kind of inspired myself to see like how many people he influenced, right?
Right.
But amongst that, like even these Guangdong people who are notorious for not drinking and stuff were wasted when I walked through that door. They were standing up, hugging, like, oh, when I walked in, they were like, whoa, get over here, you know?
And that's just one aspect why people might leave. It's because their expectations aren't quite lined up with reality.
I did a video about this actually on one of our first ADV videos. I thought was very, very interesting was the expectations videos, and we actually harped on this. You're covering this in a different aspect. We were talking about people that get off the plane and they're like, what the hell am I doing here?
Right.
Sorry, I'm in your channel, right? What the fuck am I doing here? What the fuck, right?
I feel like a lot of people are I feel like everyone, you're getting off the plane in China and you're gonna say that. Going back to the whole Chinese people are really friendly, they're very open, they're very hugging, there's a bit of a dark side to that, and I say dark side because it's a matter of perspective, and that tends to be the perspective that Western people take.
Right.
Winston covered this topic really well, and he put it really well in his last video called "Will Chinese People Rescue You?" or something along those lines.
It's eye-opening stuff.
He put it really, really well. And that's Chinese people tend to be, at face value, incredibly selfish, family orientated to a fault.
Right.
And that's
right,
to say
right.
that they will not only not help other people, but screw you over in order to either provide for themselves or their family. I can't do a better job than Winston at, and I'm not sucking his dick, he did do a very good job. If you want to know what I'm talking about, go watch his video, but
It's very good.
at face value, Chinese people don't seem particularly all that, for lack of a better term, because I'm an idiot,
Altruistic.
nice. You know, you watch the men are spitting, they're drinking, they're loud, they abuse women and are, you know, by how, I'm just gonna get out of here. Yeah. But like, but how we would define abuse is what they do. They're very like, you know, and Western people look at that.
Generalization, by the way.
It's a generalization, and Western people look at that and they find it difficult to make friends with those people. They find it difficult to relate to them on any level. And so after a year, you become not only disgusted with their behavior, but also quite lonely.
A lot of things here in China will piss you off. Like, especially after a year, you're gonna get that itch. You're gonna be like, what the hell did I...
You guys watch us drive on the bikes with the GoPros, and you know it pisses us off.
Right.
Like things will still. You're right. Things will piss you off as a foreigner. They still piss us off. It's hard because sometimes, you know, again, we've been here a year. You've been here what? 8?
8 years.
8 years. I've been here 3 years, going on 4. And you know, we'll still get in the elevator with. I almost said get in the baby. We'll still get in the elevator with Olivia, and you'll see some guy just smoking a cigarette.
And I have to almost start a fight
to the fact, exactly.
because he gets angry when I yell at him.
Yeah, but it's like, are you ignorant to the fact?
Go
that you're
die.
And it's hard understanding them from that.
8 years later, you can't change that much of yourself that you have to be like, don't fucking smoke in front of my baby.
Exactly.
You piece of shit.
That's the difficult part, and I think. If I were to wrap this video up in a quick sentence, we have a lot more to talk about, but to wrap it up, I think it's just a lack of understanding for the other person's point of view.
Right. My friend did his master's in Beijing, and he spent 8 hours a day studying Chinese. To the point where he had a better character understanding in Chinese, you know, Mandarin Chinese understanding as anybody I've ever met in China. Like, he would go up and order an ear of corn. This is his story. He'd go, oh, I'd like an ear of corn. Like a
His
grilled
Chinese
ear of corn.
got so good. He can order corn.
Well, eat your words, because listen to this.
I'll eat my corn when I get good enough.
So listen to this. So he'd order his grilled corn, and the guy would be like, wow, your Chinese is so good. And he's like, okay, thank you. And he's like, but I bet you can't read this, right? And it says, like, grilled corn. He's like, yeah, it says grilled corn. The guy says, yeah, you can read it, right? You can read our Chinese, but...
Can you feel it?
Do you understand where the characters come from, right? And he goes, yeah. This radical comes from here, and this and this and this. And he's like, he's like, this is the Song Dynasty radical that was introduced into this character. He teaches Chinese people about Chinese, by the way, in Chinese.
Right.
So the guy's like, yeah, but you're still a foreigner, so you'll never be Chinese. He literally said that to him. And that was the day, like, not the day, but the day he realized that he needed to move back to the UK. And now he works for the BBC. But he left because he was confronted with the fact that he did everything in his power to be part of this society that will, at face value, like, recognize you and welcome you in, show you the best time of your life. You'll have a great time, but you will never be Chinese.
This is the hardest part. This is, I feel like, the biggest culture gap is the idea of face. So your friend's story right there about how, you know, he's going to order corn and he's like, well, did you know that? In China, what he should have done is actually lied in a way, a white lie, if you will, that he didn't know, and perhaps even ask the guy to teach him to give him face and put himself below and humble himself upon this corn
guy
seller.
Yeah.
That's what he should have done, and that's what it means to be Chinese. But for Western people, it's so incredibly hard to do that.
Right.
It's so incredibly hard to put yourself below people because in the West, we believe in equality. Everyone
and
you
also believe in being proud of your achievements.
Well, exactly. If I know, and I'm going to fucking tell you. I'm not just going to, like, lose the argument because I want you to feel good.
Right.
And that's an incredibly difficult thing for people and Western people to accept. And it might be easier to listen to coming from you guys watching, but trust me, when you come to China and you've been here for, like, for example, for me for 4 years, and you're sitting there, someone goes, wow, you're really good at using chopsticks. And it's like, or they'll even ask, they go, can you use chopsticks? And it's like, well, how have I been eating for 4 years? You know what I mean?
My joke is, I always say in Chinese to people, I said, I'd be dead by now. Starved to death.
But I feel like if you live in Shenzhen or Guangzhou or Beijing or Shenzhen or something like that, you're going to be mixing with a lot of... I shouldn't say you. I'm not saying you're going to do it. I'm not going to generalize. But what it seems to be is a lot of the foreigners do what they're doing back home just in China with added frustration because of language and cultural barriers. Is that you're not really gonna get,
That's actually a great.
yeah, you'll have really good friends. Really
Next
good
on
friends
Dream
here.
Crushers.
I know. This sucks because you guys are like, oh, no, I don't want to go because I thought I was going to go and have these like
It's not
cool
an
relationships.
escape. It's
and
not an
like,
escape. It's
yeah,
a Band-Aid.
It's more of a, that makes it worse. That's horrible.
It's a Band-Aid that you have to rip off. But it's awesome when you're here and you can gain skills. But if you are running away from something and trying to bring all of your values over here, you're gonna not do well.
It's not going to do well. If you're interested in why myself and Cmilk came to China, support me on Patreon and you'll find that story there. Wink, wink. That's right. I got you, boys.
Or support me on Patreon. I've already uploaded the video, so do that first.
What?
Go support him on Patreon. He needs it. He's poor as fuck.
I'm so bored. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope that was a pretty good synopsis as to why most people rather, leave China within a year. Again, our huge advice that you and I would give to those people is that don't just stay for a year if you feel like there's something there. If you feel like there's something really that can hold you here.
Year and a half.
Yeah, and don't stay in one place. What?
I
Move
move
around.
around.
You said, yeah.
No, 3 or 4 years.
Don't stay in one city. Seriously, if you go to Beijing and you're like, it's kind of like the West, or Shanghai, it's kind of like the West, go somewhere else. Go to a small city, big city, travel out. China's a huge, diverse place. There's a lot for you guys to see.
Do what we did because we're fucking awesome.
Yeah, I've lived in 2 cities. Thank you guys so much for watching again. Stay positive. Keep your stick on the ice. Go watch Cmilk's channel at Loud86.
ADV China. Watch ADV China because that's what I referenced.
I mean, it's okay. I'm not on it, but I mean, it's like
This
whatever.
channel is brought to you by ADV China.
It's not. It's not brought.
It is.
It's not.
It's a sponsor. Full sponsor. So don't give to his patron because we already sponsor him, so it's fine.
You're not. That's not happening either.
Just joking. Give to his patron. Give him everything.